Hello everybody, here is Julie from Switzerland. Let me introduce you my horse Cash. He's 6 years old German sport horse. His father is Holsteiner and the grandfather is special Czech breed Kinski. They are Palomino, Isabel color and buckskins. He is a very tall horse, about 17 hands, with pretty long back, so of course it's a challenge. But somehow I fall in love with him, so let me give you some more info about him. He was ridden typical strong German way with a huge and hard contact on a bit. He started already show jumping. In the beginning of last year, he started shows around 11 hands tall. So already not that small jumps, but he was ridden just 3 times a week. He grew on pastures. So this picture is when we first met. And you can see a typical jumper's bump, no top line in fact, and also no muscles on the stifle. But he was not destroyed, just under muscle, let's say. As I love buckskins, we brought him later home, and I will show you our 7 months development, and I hope you'll enjoy our journey. In February, I was riding him for the first time at the cellar, and he has a pretty nice movement, but I had to have hard contact, and I couldn't actually change to gallop without holding the reins really strongly. This is already April when he arrived to our place. So this is like the second day when he came. So you can see he's just curious, looking around. If you watch him from the back and look especially on his croup, you can see that the form of the croup is really like a A-form roof, means he's not round on the back. So there the muscles needs to come. On the other hand, his tail is swinging nicely. This is already also positive. He's not understepping that much with the hind legs. So it's all coming. You will see. This is our first picture together. I have shown it here because I want to show you the front muscles and the posture of standing of the front legs. Next picture is a side view, but it is 1 month later. So you can see that he's a little bit gained on weight, and the top line is getting a little bit better, especially on the neck. But of course, again, you can see the under muscled stifle, the bump, the jumper's bump, the not enough muscles on the hind legs and the neck with developed bottom part. I don't have any more videos for the first months as I was working mostly in hand, and I was trying to learn him on Chambon and finding the right saddle for him, and I was working only like every second day. But now the more interesting parts are coming, so I hope you like it. In June, he was already pretty settled in lunging, because at the beginning we had big issues with Chambon, as he was really afraid of the um, movement when the Chambon was put into the bit. So we needed to start without bit, and you can see that he's now starting to stretch really nicely, and even actually now the stifle muscles are working really well. You could have seen it on this picture. The stretch is starting to be constant, and he's also swinging over the back, which is very important, and I was really happy about it. And he's starting to be round. The jumper's bump is becoming more and more invisible, and the stifle muscles are getting stronger. Of course, he's also getting on weight, putting on weight, but the horse needs to have enough fat, let's see, to transform into muscles. because without no feeding, the muscles are also not growing. So there must be a combination. On the Shambon, you can really see all the muscles working also on the top of the neck, and so this part is also starting to develop, and the difference between the top and the bottom of the neck is starting to change. On this picture is me working in hand with him before riding. I also had some friend helping me from the bottom, because of course you always need some feedback. It doesn't matter how long you're riding. I think it's always important to have somebody to give you some help, and it's always difficult to find somebody with the same ideas, but this is what I also managed. So here you can see that he's not consistent in the stretch yet. It's like about 1.5 months working, but as I said, I work him every second day for half an hour, 40 minutes maximum, because I told to myself, it is 6 years old horse, he's pretty tall. He is still developing, he's not adult yet, and I have family. I don't want to rush. So uh, here you can see I am too much putting pressure on the inside rein, because somehow I tried it to get him down, but of course this was the wrong intention. The point is he needs to understand it, but it needs to come from the back. And like pulling the inside rein is rotating his head inside, which is of course destroying the movement. But later on we will manage. So I have left the video also here so that you can also see the mistakes, because I think nobody is perfect and everybody needs to find out how to work in hand, and this was always uh, part of my struggles, how to work in hand, because there I was a lot unsure. But when the horse is starting to understand what is going on, because he had never done it before, it will get better and better, and also the position of the head will go straight. It's also very important the position of the rider's body. Of course, you're not riding, but also with your body posture, you are influencing the horse. So I also needed to learn. You can see my left shoulder is lower, and then I realized I'm exactly sitting also when riding like that. So even when you're doing work in hand, it's really important to watch your posture when walking next to the horse, because very probably you will use the same posture when riding. Here we tried some leg heels, but with the side gates he was really not familiar at all. So there I had big issues to let him understand you need to walk away from me. But later on you will see the progress. Uh, Walking here like this, you can watch that the jumper's bump is really disappearing. And I'm really happy about it. And he's starting to stretch and understanding what is the idea behind, that he can really lower the head. Uh, he's horse really willing to walk. So I had big issues with him rushing, in fact. So I spent really like months to slow him down, but you don't want to slow him by holding the reins, of course. So it was big issues for me, and also changing the sides or even like turning was a big issue without using only, or let's say with only light contact. So this is the riding from the back, you can again see that the hind legs and the hind legs top line is getting a little bit rounder. So it's not looking like that much as the roof and as, let's say, A uh, vocal. So it's he's getting a little bit more muscles on the top line. Also, the neck is starting to be at least same on the top as on the bottom. Of course, the goal is then to have the uh, top line stronger, but of course the horse also needed the lower part, and especially for show jumpers, the lower part of the neck is important when landing. So it does not mean that there is a hole on the lower part of the horse neck, but it needs to be really uh, at least same, but better when the top line needs to be really much more developed. So we are starting to understand the first stretch. I said the issue with this horse was that he was rushing a lot. So when I released the reins, he really tended to run. And when I say run, I really mean it. Of course, I can see it, but I have a pretty small arena, and I also was afraid about his joints, so I didn't want it to really make him harm. So I really tried to um, work as slow as possible. Here you can see that he's starting to stretch, but it was really big problem. Now he's again over the tempo a bit because he was used to really go, 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 and he was hold on the bit, and he was running. So now when I was not holding him strongly in front, he did not understand, and he needed also to learn to understand my seat ads. But here already the stretch is becoming better and better. He's searching the position, as you can see. I have it's my more years issue with my hands that I don't have like high hands, but at the moment you can see I use the bright holding. When he's coming up, I put my hands more bright to get the contact back. And then again, when he releases, I get him the freedom so that he can really stretch down. The camera is not managing. We are really quick, and this was my issue because he was running away. So I had really to do a lot of transitions and really to work a lot in walk. But of course, it was young horse, and he was worked before, and he was show jumping. So uh, I started to ride, but I was really riding, let's say, two times, maximum 3 times a week, and I was really happy about with a half hour good work or even 20 minutes. When I see he was checking what I want from him, then we finished. And I think this is the really important because he had every second day off, but of course you can do it only. He was on a big pastures for 12 hours during the summer. So 12 hours he could walk freely on a pasture with a lot of grass. So then I could really allow myself to give him the time to understand what we have done the day before and to regenerate. And I really need to tell you that without any extra feeding, and it means only grass and hay, he was really fit and gaining on weight and on muscles. So this was our galloping. You could see that we had some issues with the transitions, but I used to I did gallop because when I would just lunge at the beginning, he and then walk and trot, it would be too few. He was really full of energy, a really powerful horse, and I didn't want it to make his joints to damage his joints by lunging too much. So I needed to combine everything, of course, and I tried also to lunge on the longer rails, as you see, and it was possible. He was not. It is starting to be better and better. So now we are already in July, and this trot is already a working trot. I was adding the working phases between the stretch phases, working like harmonic so that he can really stretch and release, and then again a little bit short work phase, because that was also the good way how to slow him down. Because working only time in the stretch and on the long rails, he was not listening to me. He was not concentrated enough. So I really had to take him in the working phase and then again release and again working phase and again release so that he stays with me, let's say. And of course, it was a horse that was worked and was not damaged before. So this is then it is really um, possible. You need to always listen to the horse, and I felt that he can carry me and he does not any pain, that the muscles are developing on the back correctly. In August, we are already lunging with Chambon on the bit. As you can see, because he understood the idea of Chambon and he was not afraid anymore. Because the first time I have put the Chambon into the bit, he really was not willing to do any step forward, and he was really I was afraid that he's gonna jump away as much as he was afraid of the bit. He's swinging over the back. His top line is getting more and more filled, as you can see. Here he is a little bit lazy, in fact, as it is always when you are filming. and but I was actually happy that he's enjoying the lunging and not really running away as he did at the beginning. Here we are again in the side picture, and you can really see the hind legs are filling, the top line is round, and also the top of the neck is developing. The jumper's bump almost disappeared, and the stifle is filled. And we are coming to work in hand after 3.5 months. You can really see that he's stretching nicely into the contact. But I need to say I made a mistake with giving him some goodies, because he really loves to sniffle uh, and to get some goodies, as you can see. So he's always like, can I get one? Can I get one? Which is not really constructive, and it's disturbing the work, in fact. So again, a new thing what we shall really be careful. Don't give too many goodies. The best is at the beginning or even at the end of the working session. Here is much more better, uh, like heels. He's crossing also the hind legs pretty nicely. Uh, his head position is just in between. He's not rotating to the side as at the beginning. You can see that the back behind the saddle is not lowered, or he's not really hollow. He's working over the back, which I'm really happy about. I would say he's pretty okay active. he's understepping. The contact on the outside trail could be actually better. Again, like heels, I did not do much shouldering with him yet. This is still all coming. The the contact on the reins could be a little bit more consistent, and the reins could be more not that hanging, let's say. That's why it's great to have camera or somebody who is videotaping you, that you can really check afterwards also, and always, because sometimes you are concentrated on one part but you don't see the whole picture. So it's always good to have also somebody or your own with the feedback. You can see he wanted to give me some goodies, give me some goodies. The leg heel on this side was not really working, so I think we will try again later on. But the whole picture of the horse changed. He put on weight, he got rounded, the top line is developing. There is still a lot of work, but also when riding you could feel the difference already. I always start my riding lesson with working in hand so that he can really release over the back, and he's that was the leg heel much better this time. He was crossing also with the hind legs, because it's also very important that they are crossing under the belly with both legs, not only with the front ones. You see, he's always checking, can I get one goodie? So you need to be really careful, and I have some issues now to change it. It's always also good to check the position of the tail, because if you see that the tail is swimming more to one side, it's probably that the horse is not straight. And of course also it could be that you are not sitting correctly, and this is very important, the combination of a riding teacher checking your seat, of osteopath checking your horse, of a good smith checking the hooves, because it's, and of course the teeth we cannot forget. So the combination is really important. The whole package must be fitting, and yeah, of course saddle. September is coming, and we have something different here, and that this is free lunging. You can see that Cash already found out that the stretching is really nicely, and he likes it a lot. So even when free lunging, he is stretching. He will now run through the cavaletti, but this is not bad, because I wanted to show you the stretch, in fact, and all the muscles working on, where you can really nicely see. And this is another shot. So the top line is developing. You can see all the muscles working on the back. Now over the cavaletti, he did not really uh, lift the withers. So this is our issue. We need to work, that he really needs to lift in the withers over the jump. And in fact, I am not jumping much at all. I am working really uh, on the dressage, because the horse can jump, but he does not have the dressage basics done correctly. So when he does it, he can fly, in fact. This is the only video I have from September, so sorry for the quality, but at, at least a little bit or something, so that we don't have nothing this month. Here we are also working in the working frame. But he's starting a little bit to pull out on his own because he enjoys. And this is a little bit issue that you need to be careful about, because the horse shall be nicely on contact and shall be able to come from the working trot to the stretch without pulling. It shall be a nice smooth movement. So I see it as a challenge, let's say, but we are getting there. Watching from the front, you can see that the horse is getting uh, really strong breast muscles. He's a little bit brighter, more bright than when he arrived. So the development is going in the right way. One wise riding teacher said, if your horse is getting nicer, you are probably doing good thing. If he is looking worse and worse, you shall change your riding. So again, some corrections on my seat. And you can also see the transition to Gallop was possible without uh, any strong contact with the bit. So we are really getting there, that he's balanced and does not need the support in front. And I have really light contact also now in the Gallop. October is my last month of training, because I have decided to put my horse on pasture for a few months for the winter time, because we don't have riding hall and we have a lot of snow and a lot of ice during the winter. So he's now enjoying his break when I'm doing this video. But this October lesson is in fact our last big longer training, when I wanted to show you the mm, the whole package, the whole lesson. Of course, I have cut it a bit because it would be too long, but this is work in hand. At the beginning, uh, I need to say here that the horse was off the day before and not that much on pasture, so you can immediately see that he's still a bit, he needs some time to warm up, and it's also getting cold, and the arena is really wet. So the circumstances are not really the best, of course, but doesn't matter. So you can see that the stretch is getting nice. The leg yields is done without any big issues. He understands now what does it mean, what he's supposed to do. Now you can really watch the part behind the saddle, that there is no, he's not hollow. Even when he lifts his head, time to time, he can really now uh, hold his back. Oh, he forgot his hind leg. But the tail is also in the middle. He's not rotating his hind legs anything outside or something like that. He's going straight. He could be a little bit more active, but as say, I don't push him too much at the beginning to heat him up. I'm happy that he's relaxed because immediately when we then start trotting or something, he tends to overreact. So that's why I'm happy that he's relaxed and with me. Here I was doing a bit shoulder in. So you can see the clear difference when I now have contact with the inside rail. He is coming towards me. He's not just pulling his head inside. So when the horse understands how does it work, you can then start with shoulder in and leg heels and other stuff. This is the, now you can see the position from the back. This was a little bit leg heels, but I forgot the hind legs, so it was not that a nice one. He just crossed with the front legs, and I did not activate the hind legs. I was a little bit I didn't decide correctly. So I think now we are doing it again. Exactly, and here you can see it's better. He's now crossing also the hind legs nicely. But it was only a few steps, then he was watching somewhere else. Some distraction came. Now we are in the riding part. Here the tail is a little bit on the left, so I need to check it a little bit later on if there is no issue. He's a little bit distracted watching there and there. There are many riders around, but he will come to stretch soon. From the back view, you can see that he's a little bit overweight. The belly could be a bit smaller, but I knew that he's leaving for 4 months for pasture, so I just said it's better for him to have some reserves for the winter. So yes, he could be a little bit more athletic, to be honest. So the condition at the moment is also not at the highest level from from the last year, because I have reduced the working a little bit. And at the beginning of this video, you can also see that he's getting tired, because I wanted to show you everything. And of course, I was filming a little bit longer than usually, because as said, I usually work really intensively, maximum 30 or 40 minutes than in the later months. And here I was a little bit longer because of filming everything. So he was tired, and you will then see it in the pictures. So this is leg heels ridden. Should have activated more the hind legs. The crossing would be better a bit. Now it's a little bit better. Exactly. Now he understood really better. Now the tail is again straight. So any big issue, you need to really watch it. If it was long term on one side, something, there is a problem. He's also holding his tail nicely. He's not blocked tail. In October, we are already working in working gaits, because his back muscles were strong enough. And you can see watching him. He's a really strong horse, but I really was trying to ride him as fine as possible so that he understands he's strong, but we don't need to use the power. On these pictures you can also see that the breast muscles are really developing. He's more bright. The movements shall be diagonal really, which is the case. And after some working phase in a bit longer rails. Sometimes at the beginning of lesson is the stretch not that low because he's distracted, watching there and around, and he really needs to concentrate on myself and to also to slow down because as I told you many times before, he needs to be relaxed and with me, otherwise he's rushing. And even when he's tired, he's rushing because he's losing his balance and and the horse when he does not know what, some of them are really rushing. Again, my hands shall be a bit higher than here. Looking down is also not the best example. This is typical riding alone. But Big CEO is filming me, but it's also important to have the riding teacher as said, because otherwise you get into your postures that you don't even realize that you are doing that. And to change them, and the change of position of the seat is really difficult alone. Even the mirrors does not really help. In the walk on the long rail you can see that the back is not hollow. You can manage the transitions from lower head to upper head, higher head without any big changement in the top line. Now there was leg heels. He was understepping with the hind legs nicely. And now stretch again. It's really important to give the horse the breaks with stretch. And then you can combine it with the working phases. again leg yields. My contact with the race is sometimes not that consistent. So it's always important that the outside rail is the leading one and it's not hanging. The horse was watching another horses in the back. But from the side you can see that the back is not hollow behind the saddle. The muscles are working, also the front muscles are strong. And again, after short working phase, release and relax. Especially at the end of the lesson when I see that he's getting tired, I'm not working long working sessions. And in fact, I would have finished normally at this moment. But I wanted to show you as much as possible. And I knew that he's leaving soon, so I was running a little bit longer than usually. He will survive it for this time. But of course, the rider, it's very important aspect that you need to feel when to stop, because running around for 2 hours does not help anybody, and the horse can be tired, and that's why he can be even quicker. So exactly what is my horse doing is when he's getting tired, he's getting quicker and quicker. Soon you are feeling, oh, I need to work because he is so fit, he needs to run more, but in fact he can't anymore. So he is switching into the fight and fight modus and wants to run away because he's getting tired. So again, you see short galloping session and again stretch and release. So I wanted to show the transitions that it is possible to change from working gait to stretch, and he's still on a light contact and walk. He's understepping nicely, but he's getting tired. And the tired muscle cannot grow. So it's important to work, but not to overwork the horse. Long term, I mean. Of course, if you once work a little bit longer, the horse will survive it. But it's really important to have also this aspect on mind, that the less is more. Short trot and then again stretch. So working like harmonic, getting the connection, getting the working frame, and then again releasing. This is really important with young horses. And of course depends. He's 6 and he has been working already 3 years almost. Uh, and I really now feel that he can carry me on the back. But if you have a horse who is 6 and has never done anything, then you uh, really need to wait until the horse is ready. Now you have seen he was a little bit losing his balance with the front leg. He's getting tired. So this is actually the issue of every riders nowadays. You want more and more, and the horse need to do more and more, and they are also bred for that. But in fact, everything has time, and it's important really to also give the horses the break. That's why my horse is now for 4 months on the pastures, enjoying his horsey life. And this year we are in March, we will start again with work in hand, with lunging slowly again and again, because there is no rush. And if you work your horse correctly, he has enough muscles, it can carry you. It does not, it will be for a long time your partner, because it will be not overused. Again, some walk break. Now we are back into working gait, and also in the face of the horse you can slowly see I have enough. But of course he's a willing horse, he's helping me. So this time he said, look, I will continue with you, because we will do the movie for Art2Ride community, but tomorrow I want to have some wellness program. And you see that I'm already doing really short phases of working frames, and then again break, and then yeah. So this is also an issue of the horses, that they are really willing. So even if the horse is willing, does not mean that he's not tired. So be careful about this. Now we did the transition into canter, and he's running. You see? So the gallop was much quicker than before. I have left it now in the movie because I think it's important for you to see that when the horse is getting tired, it can be also quicker than usually. So you have feeling, oh no, I need to make him tired, but in fact he is tired already. So be careful about this. And again we are in stretch. And I wanted to correct the transition because he just fell into the gallop. Probably I will do the transition again. So back to trot. My outside rail is too long. Now you see he's getting quicker and quicker. And then I released him again. It it is an educational video, so I want you to see also all the mistakes and all the things that are happening with when training a horse. The point is, don't want too much, because if you want too much, you will make your horse not willing and not willing to cooperate with you. It's always important to stop at the right time, and it's important to make your horse understand what you want from him. And stretch. And here you can see that also in the walk the back was a little bit getting a little bit hollow because the horse is getting tired. He can still manage, it's not much, but small intentions are there. Now the transitions was better. But I'm doing just one circle. So galloping like on half hour does not help anything. More important are the transitions and the correctness of the gallop. Now again, I'm releasing him and sending into stretch. So the idea was to show you, and you can now see that the back is getting lower and lower behind the saddle. So the horse is still willing, still cooperating, but is then really happy to finish soon, which is also the case. So thank you very much for watching our journey. I hope you have enjoyed it, even with the mistakes. But I see it's really important to show you everything, the good sides and also the bad sides of the training, because filter on Instagram is not real, and we all are learning, and we are also learning about our horse. So have fun, keep up good work, trust in Art2Ride, listen to your horse and to your body. Ask for feedback, because it's always important to have somebody helping you from the ground. And make your horse healthy and happy. Thank you very much, and see you next time.